Hello. Long time no see. This is a fiber vlog, I guess. I haven't been focusing on YouTube for the past weeks and things have changed. I'm no longer monetizing the channel, and yeah, I also had to grieve that. But it's a good decision. I could no longer, all the taxation and the bureaucracy in Italy is too high for what I was earning on this channel. So I'm no longer monetizing the channel. So if you see any ads, I haven't put it in. It's just YouTube doing its thing. Let's get into the fiber nitty-gritty situation content. I'm in the car. I just been to the little town nearby, and there was a little market fair, kind of like crafty fair. There weren't many fiber arts related stands, but there was one that surprised me. They are actually really close, and I didn't know about them. They are an alpaca farm. Here it is. And they have alpaca, and they shear them, and they create yarns. And they sell mostly finished knitwear. So hats and scarves and sweaters and cardigans and shawls. But they also had on the stand, they had few skeins. And I was like, are you selling the skeins? Or are they just there for like showing where, the products come from? And he said, no, we sell the skeins as well. And they had, I think, 3 colors, black, brown, and white, and also the gray, but they didn't have it exposed there. Anyhow, I got 3 skeins of this beautiful brown, so beautiful, and it's super soft. They don't spin their fibers. They just shear the alpacas, and then they bring all that fiber to a mill, and they process the yarn for them. But yeah, I got 3 skeins, and he didn't tell me how many meterage or the yardage or meterage of each skein, but I think it's 50 grams each. So I have 150 grams. That's it. That's it for the little update. And I'm gonna go home, and we'll see. Maybe I'll catch up with you later. Okay, I'm home. I was so surprised. Usually you can't find like yarn sellers around here. By the way, there is the generator in the background, so life. And I intend to knit a shrug or a bolero, or like one of those cardigans that are very cropped and you can tie in the front. And so it's minimal knitting, but you still have some sort of clothing that protects your arms, but not your body, if that makes sense. And I have 3 skeins, so 150 grams. And I think it should be enough, especially considering what I want to knit. So I think I'm gonna cast it on now. Yes. Good morning. I'm having my coffee, wearing my Tresta jumper, one of the first colorwork jumper that I ever made. But anyhow, I wanted to update you because yesterday I cast it on with the beautiful local alpaca yarn. I don't know if I shared how beautiful this is. Super soft. I cast it on a shrug, bolero, how do you call it? And it's a cardigan. Of course, I'm in the middle of the row. but yeah, it's a cardigan, so it has an opening in the front, and I'm just following my own pattern as usual. I did cast it on 5 stitches, then I placed the marker, cast it on 9 stitches, placed the marker, cast it on 38 stitches, place the marker, 9 stitches, marker, 5 stitches. And then around the markers I'm doing increases for the raglan. And then I'm slowly increasing for kind of like the front of the cardigan. It's not the cardigan, it's a shrug, so it's going to be quite cropped. I think it's going to be under my boobage system, and I'm just going to tie it in the front. Does that make sense? So it's just gonna have like long sleeve. It's just basically long sleeves, and I really like that idea to have a cardigan that is not really a cardigan, it's a shrug. So yeah, I'm using needle size 4, but because I don't know if you can see it, but it's quite the fabric. Don't know if you can see it well. Yeah, the fabric is quite open. It's an open gauge, and yeah, the yarn. I don't know the meterage, but I know it's 50 grams, and it looks like fingering weight yarn. So I think it's going to be enough. I hope so. Otherwise, I also thought I had this yarn in my stash, which is beautiful. It's a mix of mohair and alpaca, for what I remember. It's so beautiful, and I think these two yarns go really well together. I don't have anything in my wardrobe that has these colors. I think so, at least. And I was thinking that if I ran out of this yarn, I could do, you know, some parts with this one. I really want to use more yarn from my stash. I have a pretty good stash. I don't know if it's super massive, but it's quite, I have many many months or even years worth of yarn. Hello. Ciao Padle. Ciao Cotita.
And then go anti-clockwise. Of the leg, and reach your right arm up and over as you bend towards your left leg. If the head is needing some support here, you could create a cradle with the left hand to rest the head in. Lower down into lower boat, keeping the upper back off the mat, legs off the mat. Inhale, lift up into boat. Exhale, lower to low boat. 3 more times. Inhale, boat. Exhale, low boat. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale.
No, Cotita.
As you exhale, press the floor away, round the spine. Bring chin to chest. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale to cat. Exhale out. Forwards. When you find your fold, keep a bend in the knees. Take a hold of opposite elbow to come to ragdoll. Sway side to side.
Good morning. I'm waiting for my coffee to get ready. So I want to chat a little bit. I need to give you some updates when it comes to the year-long knit-along that me and my friend Ali have been hosting. It was actually a make-along called Adventures in Stash, and it ends the 17th of February 2025, so in 2 days from now. I don't know when I'll publish this, but probably before that. And it was a really nice and chilled knit-along, or make-along. It was really about making things with things that we have, with materials and yarns that we have in our stash. It was a really nice process. I've knitted many garments and accessories with yarn stash. For example, these mittens, I don't know if I shared them with you. I finished them recently. They're just really simple mittens, and I used some scraps. I held together Knitting for Olive silk mohair in a kind of grey tone, and Holst Garn Super Soft in a blue tone or color. Sorry, my dog is here. And yeah, so it was a really nice make-along, and there will be 2 winners. That's what we decided with Ali. One will win a pattern of their choice. We'll announce everything on Instagram, because there is where we can see all the projects that you've made under the hashtag Adventures in Stash. We'll pick a winner, and you will just tell us what pattern you want, and we'll gift it to you. We'll buy it for you. And then there's going to be another prize by a wonderful creator, and she makes absolutely gorgeous knitting bags. Not only knitting bags, you can use them for anything actually. And she very kindly gifted one for the podcast, for this channel, and for the make-along. So you'll be able to win one of her beautiful bags. So one winner will win a bag, and her bag, and another winner will win a pattern of choice. So that's our little, contribution for the make-along. Yeah, I'll definitely knit a lot from stash this year. I have a beautiful big stash, and I want to use all of the yarns that I have and kind of get creative and combine all of the different colors together. And yeah, I just want to knit from my stash. I want to show you the progress of my Loom cardigan. This is actually not originally a cardigan pattern. It's a pullover by Sari Nordlund. It has this beautiful color work yoke and some color work on the sleeves as well. And I finally sticked it. Let me show you. It's pretty ugly, the sticking part. You can see I need to hide it under some sort of like fabric or something, because it's pretty ugly. But yeah, I sticked it, and I put nice buttons, and it has a beautiful length. It's not too cropped nor too long. It's perfect. Then I did also another modification. I did this kind of split situation. The back is knitted longer than the front. And yeah, that's the progress on my Loom cardigan. And I still have to block it, of course, and yeah, finish the sleeves. But I think the most difficult part is done, so I'm really happy. Let me get the coffee. Okay, I got little coffee, and before I end this video, I want to talk a little bit about this channel and how it will change, what will happen. I'm not going to tell you exactly what will happen, but I want to talk a little bit about my journey here on YouTube and share with you how it feels to be here, what changed and all of that. And first of all, I must say that this video, because I already started editing it, felt a bit scattered, and that's exactly how I feel. So this is what it is, you know. This video was a bit scattered all over, and I feel like that. It feels that spring is coming. But before that, there's this, you know, threshold or the limbo that I'm in, where I don't really know what I'm going to do work-wise. I feel quite, you know, a bit lost, but there isn't despair in this feeling of, you know, being scattered and a bit lost. I'm just wondering, I guess, what my next step will be work-wise. I feel pretty solid when it comes to my mental health. Yes, I have my down moments and low moments like everyone else, but I feel quite brave and courageous in my life in general. I just really don't know what I'm going to do work-wise. I felt that periodically throughout my life. I'm doing some courses on different, you know, themes that are all interlinked, I guess. But I feel still quite lost. I feel that I don't know what my purpose in life is work-wise. What my offerings are going to be from now on. And this channel has been such a creative outlet for me. There's been so much in it. I mean, 3 years, I think, of sharing and showing myself in my imperfect journey of We Grow Wild. And there was so much. I gave a lot. I gave a lot. All my mental, physical, emotional energies were invested on this channel. I felt like there was so much more than actually filming and editing. There was also ideation and designing and thinking what to film next, and it was a beautiful process, but there was also a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of feeling of unsafety, because the nature of, you know, working online, or, you know, being at the mercy, or how do you say, being at the, yeah, but basically the algorithm was my boss, and the algorithm is a very unreliable, I guess for me at least, boss, and unstable, volatile, I would say, maybe volatile is the right word, boss. So even though I was kind of like in control with what I was making and what I was doing, it still felt, yeah, I felt really proud that I was following my joy, and I was making things on my own terms, but there was always this anxiety, and I wasn't earning a lot. Luckily, it was enough. Both me and Mika have some sort of like shared economy, and so I was bringing something and he was bringing something else, but I was really making just enough to maybe buy the food or pay the rent when we were renting a place and pay the bills. So I was really not making enough at all to save money, but it was still a success for me. It was still a success for me to do what I really liked, share my craft, share my adventures with the world, and do it in a creative way with my editing and my filming. And it was simple, but I enjoyed that a lot. And what I learned, if anything, what I learned is that I can be successful work-wise only if I follow my excitement, if I follow my joy. Not if I follow the shoulds and shouldn'ts and the shame. And this might not work for everyone. Maybe some people don't need to follow their excitement to earn a lot of money, to feel that they are successful in their work. But for me, that's very relevant and very important. So that's what I'm gonna look in the future. I want to feel that what I'm doing gives me a bit joy, and in return, I can give joy to people. But I really don't know what I'm supposed to do, like work-wise, right? And it felt sad to close this chapter of monetizing this channel. And for some people, they would be like, who cares? But for me, it was a lot. It was my work, right? So I grieved that, but I also but it feels that it's the right thing. I had a lot of expectations because I was investing so much. Not that I thought that this channel was like marvelous and amazing and that I could, make tons of money and create a huge, audience and have a huge audience. But because I was investing so many energies, so much of me, I felt I had a lot of expectations in return, naturally. And so I'm really happy. It feels really healthy for me to not have expectations at all and to just do what I feel like here, post whenever I want, if ever I want to post, and not be consistent, not trying to trick the algorithm to like me or to like this content and to understand what I'm doing. And I was talking to Mike some weeks ago when I demonetized the channel, and I told him, I didn't make enough money. Like, I was just complaining and stuff like that. And he was saying, like, you could have made more money. And he wasn't judging me. He was just saying, like, you just decided to not take some sponsors that would have paid you some money. You just decided to not collaborate with them because you didn't feel like they were aligning with your content or anything. And it's true, I could have made much more than I did, but it didn't feel right. And there weren't like tons of sponsors, but there were several that I decided to not go with, that would have paid me, and I decided to not take that opportunity because the product or their service it didn't feel right for me to sponsor. And yeah, it was a huge journey, and I'm just sharing it with you because I felt that many of you, not all of you, care, of course, but many of you were not only viewers, not only knitters who want to spend some time watching some content, but you were some sort of witnesses of a creative journey of a person. It's just fair for me to talk with that part of my audience who actually was there and witnessing this journey and be inspired. I just want to thank you. I want to thank especially those people that were witnesses of this channel. I'm thinking to also take down the Patreon account because again, it's a little income that I have to pay taxes on and all of that, and it's not for the formula of taxations in Italy and all of that, I can't I can't continue doing that. So I will take down Patreon, sadly, as well, or like just make it free, I guess, or we'll see. Maybe I'll just close it. And I really want to thank everyone, all the patrons who truly supported me, even though I was so inconsistent there. I wasn't publishing things at all for many weeks at times, but they still supported me. So for those who are still kind of wanting to give something, I guess, I mean, I felt that you gave me a lot already, so I'm very happy. It's completely fine. You don't have to give me anything, but if you want, you can buy me coffee on Ko-Fi. Those are donations, so they're just some money that I don't necessarily have to, I guess, pay taxes on, because they're just donations, right? So yeah, if you want, you can buy me a coffee, and that's it on Ko-Fi. That's what you can do, I guess. But again, I think it's a chapter that is closing in terms of like making this my work. But for now, it feels good that I'm kind of letting it go. And I still want to have the opportunity to publish videos if I want to engage with you and share my needs and all of that. But yeah, I'm not going to do it with that spirit of expectation and of hoping to grow and all of that, okay? So cheers, and I really want to thank you. I know I'm just talking in front of a camera, my old camera, which was the means for me to connect here. But I'm also wanting to talk to you and want to say thank you. And I don't need PT, I don't need advices, I guess, on what I should do next and what I should have done. I pretty much have the entire, overview of what happened and what has been. I just feel on a threshold. I feel that I don't really know what I'll do work-wise, and that has been giving me quite some stress, but it's also good. It's also good because I'll eventually, hopefully, figure things out. So thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and a new chapter will begin. I felt like, kind of updating you, and thank you for witnessing this journey. And I don't know if some people can relate. It's okay to let go of what you built. It's okay to grieve it. It's okay to have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings. I don't feel necessarily just pure happiness and clarity with all this process. I just know that it no longer works, and I grieve what was, but I'm also open to see what will be, and I can welcome what will come only if I make space for it, right? And so if you're in a similar situation, not necessarily that you worked online or whatever, but if you feel on a threshold, if you feel that what you've done no longer works, then maybe it's time to let it go, a little bit at least. And with time and peace, you don't have to just end things abruptly, I guess, unless you really want to. So yes, that's the little update. I guess for some of you it won't really matter, but it does for me. So I'll see you whenever I'll see you. Bye. Thank you.